I'm going to talk a little bit about f-stop today. Some people were asking when I shot those bison, what was I talking about? It's called Aperture. It's also called f-stop. Let's just call it f-stop. If you go and read about f-stop online, you're going to see all kinds of confusing things like depth of field, letting in more light, letting in less light, the higher the number, higher is lower, lower is higher, all kinds of confusing stuff. So f-stop lets you tell your camera how much of the scene you want in focus. And there's an easy trick to remember how to use it. F-stop is represented in a number, usually something like 2.8 all the way up to f22. If you're just starting out and you shoot stuff like me, like landscapes, and you want everything in focus, just put it at f11, f8 to 11, somewhere around there. f11 is probably best, and just live with it. Now, if you're shooting people or other subjects where you want to focus on something very narrow, something in particular, like you want to focus on a little piece but you want the rest out of focus, well then you got to adjust it.
So here's an easy trick to remember. Imagine you're shooting 11 people and they're lined up in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 11 people away from you. You're going to need an f11 to get them all in focus. Conversely, when you're only shooting 3 people, then you can lower your f-stop down to f3 or f4.
I'm not speaking literally here. f11 isn't going to focus on 11 people, and f3 probably will not get 3 people in focus. It's just a tool to remember how to use the f-stop. It's just a tool. I'm not speaking literally. So just remember, when you want to focus on the whole scene from near to far, go for a high f-stop, like f11. If you want to focus on something close with everything behind it out of focus, like a delicate flower, then you can go down to 2.8. I noticed when I first began photography, if I ever did put something out of focus with a low f-stop, focused on one little area, people would be like, "Tom, you're good, man, whoa!" That's because they're not used to seeing this. You need a pro camera to do this. Cell phones didn't do it. But now, the technology is changing. And you can even use your phone, like the iPhone portrait mode. That's essentially a low f-stop. I'm going to demonstrate on those flowers. Hey, come back, lad. Yeah, those flowers. So as you get better and learn more, you'll see and understand that there's a lot more to f-stop, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Just go with what I taught you now, and you'll connect the dots later. We'll talk more about this in a future episode.